Okay guys, so in this video I'm going to be talking about how to build a 10K a month AI consulting or governance and compliance business, right? So this is for anyone that's already in the AI space that potentially could be consulting at the moment in any capacity whatsoever, right? So a big thing that has become very prevalent in 2026 is AI governance and compliance. This is going to be a critical part of every single business out there that is using AI. And most businesses are using AI. Statistics say that at the present moment, over 85% of businesses in the UK are actively using AI, right? So, do you know all of the compliance and governance laws out there that will essentially protect you from um, any legal action being taken against your business in regards to how you use AI? My name's Ash Masoha. I'm an AI consultant and I specialize in AI governance and compliance. I also have experience working within the digital marketing space and working within the risk management space. So these are all skills that I've combined, put together to essentially help businesses and consult businesses when it comes to AI and producing the results that they're looking to produce using AI. My company is called the AI Integrity Group. And like I said, our goal is to innovate safely and automate profitably. So we have a two-tier system in which we call the shield and sword approach. So initially what we do is we come in, we do a shadow AI risk audit in which we try to comprehensively discover and assess the authorized AI tools in your organization, identifying security vulnerabilities and compliance gaps. We also implement the AIPP framework implementation, which basically allows us to um, do an expert deployment of International Association of Privacy. So this is basically covering the expert deployment of International Association of Privacy Professional Standards of AI governance and privacy compliance. So if you don't know what that means, do your research. It's very in-depth stuff in regards to basically building frameworks to protect your company from how you're using AI basically. Like we build frameworks for you to understand how you should be using AI, which makes it a lot easier for you than constantly having to come and or go to a consultant to ask these questions and get charged hundreds of pounds an hour or more. So we build a framework for you, and we also do custom AI agent deployment. So we build AI agents for your business and try and help you guys basically, navigate through the process of how to automate workflows within your business, depending on what type of business you have. So the next thing we do is we also do compliance automation. So we have software, bespoke software that we will set up within your system that constantly scans your business's digital footprint. So it basically scans your business's digital boot. So it basically scans your business's digital footprint, and we can pick up on where you're using AI and where you may be potentially be using AI wrongly and could face massive fines. So we also put in an AI governance strategy for your business so that you guys can stay on top of it and future proof your business from, anything that could affect your business in terms of AI governance or compliance. And then we also have regulatory intelligence. So we always stay ahead of the evolving AI regulations with proactive monitoring, analysis, and implementation guidance for compliance. So those are things that we set up for your business to make sure that you guys never even have to think twice about whether you're compliant or whether you are meeting the AI governance laws, rules, and regulations. So, a quick introduction. Like I said, my name is Ash Masoha. Um, I've kind of broken it all down for you anyway, but I'll go through this little professional biography for you. As the director of the AI Integrity Group, I stand at the forefront of the responsible AI revolution. My goal is to just make sure that everyone is using AI responsibly and not putting themselves in a situation where they're at risk of getting fined and potentially, affecting their business because of their use of AI, right? So I've got a career that bridges the gap between technical innovation and regulatory compliance. And I've established myself as a trusted authority in the AI governance world. So I've been doing this now for probably about, I'd say, 6 months or so. And I completely and totally understand how and what businesses need to be implementing so we can actually get, we can actually get you guys the correct governance and compliance for your business to make sure that you guys are not getting affected by the use of AI in any way whatsoever. So, as it says here, I am an IAPP certified privacy professional. I basically focus on AI governance and risk assessments, ISO 4201 implementation, shadow AI discovery audits, regulatory compliance with the EU AI Act and GDPR, and a strong understanding of ethical AI framework development, like I said earlier. So this is a quote of mine. Basically, true innovation requires guardrails. Our mission is to empower businesses to run fast with AI, knowing their safety mechanisms are world class. So that is the top priority within my consultancy and within the AI Integrity Group, of which we've partnered up with other consultants and consultancies to provide a similar service. Our focus is to basically make sure that you guys are implementing AI within your business safely. That's it, really and truly. Like, as long as you're doing it safely and you're looking and you're future proofing your business against any AI regulations that come up, we will always update you, send you emails, redo frameworks for you depending on how AI is moving. And as you know, AI is moving so fast at the moment. It's so important to make sure that you are compliant. So, if you visit our website, the AI Integrity Group, you'll find that you can actually do an interactive AI risk audit where you just leave your company email address and you can start an assessment. It will give you a rough idea of what risk level you are on. I'll do a video basically doing a little demonstration of how to use the interactive AI risk audit software on our website. We've also got bespoke software that does a lot more than this, but this is like the entry level of just being able to check whether your business could be potentially at risk in terms of how you're using AI. And yeah, you can get a free AI risk assessment guide as well. Leave your email. We can send you a guide so that you just generally kind of have an idea of when you do start using AI, if you're not using AI at the moment, what you need to make sure you've got set up within your business to protect yourselves from any compliance or governance issues. So getting AI wrong could cost you a lot of money, especially if you're in the UK. But a lot of organizations worldwide are also looking into these governance and compliance rules because it affects everyone. Ultimately, in the UK, we usually use GDPR and PECR. And that's kind of like the frameworks that they're using at the moment for the fines that they're fining people. And yeah, so let's just break down a few of the case studies that have affected businesses in the UK since this has been implemented in February 2025. So in the UK, AI is not governed by a single law. Instead, compliance is enforced through existing regulations like UK GDPR and PECR. By the bodies such as the Information Commissioner's Office, ICO. As of 2025 February, enforcement has intensified with the fines shifting from a small penalty to multi-million pound sanctions for systematic failures. So yeah, it can get real, guys. It can get very, very real in terms of how much you can get fined. At the present moment, I think they're looking at around 6 to 7% of your annual revenue as a fine for using AI unethically without being compliant. And I'm sure as a business owner, you do not want to risk losing 6 to 7% of your annual revenue. So let's have a look at some of the businesses that have been affected. So the first business here was based around misuse of sensitive and biometric data. So we've got Clearview AI who were fined 7.5 million for facial recognition database infringement. So they scraped billions of images to create a search engine for law enforcement without consent. You may have heard of this on the news. What they basically did was they used social media to get loads of people's pictures. Then they basically created a database in which they wanted to sell to the to law enforcement, to the government, to police, to be able to track people, right? So they took like loads of social media accounts based in the UK and just put people's faces in there so that and built a system where basically the police could just look up on the database, see or put your picture in, and they could basically access who you were and know exactly everything about you in terms of where you live, like everything. So not good, not good at all, because obviously this goes against GDPR and now it goes against the AI governance and compliance laws. So this is one thing. If you have a business that deals with sensitive data or biometric data of people, you do not want to be letting that system be run by AI without being compliant or governed. The next business is DeepMind and NHS. So these are massive government organizations. As you can see with the Clearview case, that was a government organization situation as well with the police. And now you've got the NHS, right, and DeepMind. So these are massive companies that have also been sanctioned for misusing patient data. DeepMind and NHS shared basically 1.6 million patient health records to test the clinical AI without informing patients. So that's another thing that you guys really need to focus on. If you're using AI in any way and not letting your customers know that you're using AI, you are breaking the law. You are not compliant, right? You need to let people know if you're using AI within your business and it could potentially affect your customers in terms of data or biometrics, right? You need to let your customers know. So those are the two big ones when it comes to misuse of sensitive information and biometric data. And then the next two that we're going to be looking at are failures in automated marketing and outreach. So this is another area. So where I come from, a digital marketing background, I am very, very aware of a lot of the rules and regulations and laws when it comes to AI compliance, when it comes to this. And a lot of people don't realize that they could be potentially looking at massive fines just for posting stuff that's made with AI, right? So the key thing here is making sure that whatever you're posting falls within, so there's different risk levels, and you need to make sure that you do some sort of AI audit, which we provide on our website. As I showed you earlier, you can go on there, do the audit, which will basically show you whether you are at risk in terms of the way you're using AI at the moment. And yeah, you need to stay on top of it, guys. CRDNN find got 500,000 for 19 million robocalls. So this is a company that was actually making phone calls, and they were making massive volume spam phone calls to their clients, basically using old information like old emails and old phone numbers, and just trying to reignite the lead and turn them into a sale, I suppose. But obviously, this goes against AI, GDPR, PECR laws. So they got fined 500,000 for that, guys. And another company that did something similar was HelloFresh, who got fined 140,000 for automated spam. So obviously, the phone calls, not good. You can't be using AI to make phone calls, bulk phone calls, unsolicited phone calls, without making sure that clients know that it's AI, essentially. So same thing that I was saying in regards to the misuse of sensitive data and biometric data. If you're not letting your clients or people who you've got their data and information know that that AI is gonna be using it, you're breaking the law, and you could actually get fined for that. So HelloFresh sent out 80 million marketing messages using bundled consent and targeting ex-customers, which means basically they were sending out bulk emails and targeting old clients again, ex-customers, which isn't good again, guys, because like I said, you really need to be kind of letting your customers know if AI is involved in any of what you're doing. Is very, very important if you do not want to get fined. So the key lesson from both of these situations: the UK rules apply globally. Foreign firms must comply with UK GDPR if their AI monitors UK citizens' behavior, right? And then for the other failures in automated marketing and outreach, the key lessons were: automation requires explicit consent. So these are the two things, guys. Regardless of where you are, if you are dealing with a UK company, you need to understand this, because you can get fined by the UK GDPR and governance and compliance. They will fine you if you're a company that's not in the UK. That's one thing you really need to understand, because I think a lot of people think that because they're not in the UK, they can't get fined. You can. And then the next thing is, you need to make sure that the AI uses clear, granular opt-ins and transparent sender identity. So the AI cannot look like a human. You have to be clear that your AI is AI, right? If you are trying to mislead people by making them think they're being contacted by a human when it's AI, you could potentially be getting fined, sued, or yeah, worse. So yeah, guys, these are the potential penalties for AI compliance breaches. Biometric and facial recognition, you're looking at up to 4% of your turnover for your business, depending on how big your business is. The next area would be automated decisions. You're looking at up to 4% of your turnover as well. And then the last area is spam marketing AI. You could be looking at 500K under PECR laws. So, guys, make sure you screenshot this, save it, whatever you've got to do, or you can go into the link in my bio. You can go into the link in description and click the link to our AI entrepreneurs community, where we share all of this information on a regular basis. Any updates that come up will be shared in that WhatsApp group as well. So make sure, if you want to be involved and learn more and communicate with some of our consultants and get a better understanding, use the link to join the WhatsApp group, or you can always email us from our website, aiintegritygroup.com. Just go there, email us, let us know what your issues are, and one of our consultants will get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, guys, so this is our bespoke software that I mentioned earlier in this video, and this is basically how we do our research. We create frameworks, we do our risk assessments and our audits, our deep dives into your company's digital footprint to find out if you are potentially at risk of breaking AI governance and compliance rules and regulations. So the first thing we do when we have a consultation with you is we will do a risk audit similar to the one on our website, aiintegritygroup.com. If you go on there, you can do a quick shadow AI risk assessment just to see, basically fill in a few questions, and we'll basically give you an idea of what type of risk you are at of potentially getting fined at the present moment. And then once you're in and we have an understanding of how your systems are working, what you're using, we'll do a little 45-minute to an hour review with you of all your business tools and everything. And that's at that point we will run your website, or essentially your website is your main point of access for your business in terms of online, right? So we will run an audit running through from your website. Usually all your other social media stuff will be on your website. So what our system does is it basically goes and scans everything on your digital footprint, from your social media pages to your email marketing to your website, and it gives you all the sources and tells you where we've got all the information, and then basically breaks down what level of risk you are at in terms of AI governance and compliance. So, for example, in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a company everybody knows into our AI integrity governance auditor, in which where we will get an AI integrity score for you and be able to let you know exactly where you guys are failing in terms of AI governance and compliance. So I am going to use an example of Nike as the company that we're going to do an AI audit on. And we literally click here. Our software will start running the audit, and it takes maybe about 2-3 minutes to get the system to scan all your global registries. And what it's actually doing is retrieving the regulatory disclosures and public risk signals for your company. So in this case, we're doing that for Nike. And basically, once it's got all that information, we can then give you a very good idea of where your company is in terms of compliance and governance. And we can start putting together a plan and a strategy for you to basically be able to protect yourself. So here we go. Literally took us 2 to 3 minutes. We've got the Nike integrity report here, and it's showing that the regulatory classification for Nike is high risk. So at this point, as you can see, if a big company like Nike are actually at high risk, we're going to look into exactly where the risk is, so you guys can have a better understanding of potentially where you may also be taking risks or and may not realize, right? So it says aggressive commercial audit readiness was 62% in terms of regulatory milestone confidence, and then your integrity score at the moment for Nike is 78 out of 100, which is lower than preferred. We like it to be in the 90s. 100 out of 100 is really what you want, to be honest with you. Anything that brings that score down could be something that could potentially lead Nike to a massive fine of over 4% of their annual turnover, which Nike would really not want to face because they make a lot of money. And then in terms of the EU compliance tier, you're high. So that's always good. That's very good right there, that they're in the high tier for EU compliance, because that puts you in a situation where you need to make sure that you're not risking any sort of GDPR, PECR, or AI governance or compliance for your company. So as of Jan 2026, this is the executive summary. As of January 2026, Nike's AI footprint drives high value personalization and operational efficiency, but faces significant regulatory headwinds regarding data privacy. So that's somewhere where we would then contact Nike and tell them and let them know, right, look, you are potentially going to have a problem in the future in regards to your data privacy. Key deployments include Nike Fit, computer vision, biometrics. So like I said, with the biometrics, this can be very difficult, especially when you start bringing AI in. If Nike have not informed their clients that they're using AI in line with biometrics. That could be something that Nike could be breaching in terms of the governance and compliance of the AI that they're using. While Nike has pioneered an internal private guardian for generative models to mitigate copyright risk, so they pretty much created their own system so that they're not getting any copyright infringements or getting any source data from anywhere else apart from their own specific data centers. So that's one thing that they've done to obviously mitigate the risk. And the company is currently entangled in multiple class action lawsuits: eCastro versus Nike, Aghanim versus Nike, alleging illegal wiretapping of user browser sessions and non-consensual data sharing with third parties like TikTok under the EU AI Act of 2026. Nike Fit borders on high risk classification due to biometric categorization, requiring rigorous conformity assessments that are not publicly evident. Governance is anchored in broader corporate sustainability rather than a dedicated AI safety body, leaving a maturity gap in specific algorithmic accountability. So, what our system has actually realized here is that Nike is already facing lawsuits. So, for example, what we would do is we would then get in contact with Nike and let them know that because they're already facing class action lawsuits against Castro and Aghanim, they really want to try and look into this AI stuff because this could be something else on top of what's already going on in terms of the legal battles that they're going through at the moment, right? And then what our system also does EU AI Act mapping. So it basically takes stuff from the EU AI Act and maps it based on the biometric risks within Nike as a business. So as you can see here, it's notice that there's a critical gap with Nike Fit Collects because it does physiological data, 13 points without explicit conformity assessment evidence. So this is something that really can be classified as high risk because it involves biometrics. We would really need to do a deep dive into this business and start building frameworks for this business. Let our software actually analyze in more depth and put together some sort of compliance framework for Nike so that they can protect themselves from potentially breaching any rules or regulations. And then here we've also got a little partial privacy policy updated in February 2025. So this is the EU AI Act, Part 50, that is showing transparency and user notification. So that's another issue for Nike at the moment. So and then the next issue for Nike would be the GDPR, CCPA, and CPA, where they're non-compliant with in regards to wiretapping and data sharing. So, and then we've also got NIST AI RMF map, which shows that private guardian strategy for Gen AI shows maturity in IP risk and mapping. So this is something that obviously Nike is doing at the moment, and there's a risk factor for them at the moment. AI literacy baseline for Nike. It shows that board members have attended the Stanford Directors College AI training. However, the departure of key innovation leads like John Hogue, Jason Loveland in 2024-25 suggest a potential brain drain in institutional AI leadership. So that is quite interesting information and extra information. But here we also have created a guardrail roadmap. So this is the type of stuff that we will be letting you guys know in terms of how we can implement compliance into your business. Our roadmap is what we've found are the risks, and literally this is the full breakdown now. So these are your critical risks, what's high risk within the business and what's medium risk, and it will show on the points here of the risk topology in terms of public signals which ones are critical, high, and medium risk. But let me be honest with you, all of these things, critical just means it's something that we need to look in straight away. And obviously here you can see that it's all based around multiple class action suits that Nike is currently facing, which could be a massive problem for them if AI is added onto it, right? Because they are using AI at the moment, and potentially this could be something that they haven't looked into as well. So what we would do as consultants is we would contact Nike and say to them, right, you've already got a critical situation in terms of your GDPR, PECR. What we want to do is help you avoid any extra problems with CEPA violations or any sort of EU AI Act violations, and save you basically getting fined millions of pounds, right? So as a consultant, this is an easy way, guys, to basically put yourself in a position where you could easily be earning 10K a month. And that's what this video is about. Everything that I've broken down for you in this video is just to show you guys that as a consultant, my business and my partners, we're all earning over 10K a month from just being AI governance and compliance consultants. It's a business that you can start as a one person business. You don't even need to start this with multiple people. We can get you set up with our software. We can help you set up your email list. We can help you with cold calling scripts, whatever you need in terms of getting set up as an AI consultant and making 10K a month as an AI consultant. If you've got experience in digital marketing, this is something that would be very good for someone who's already maybe had freelancer experience and understands how to work as a freelancer and get leads as a freelancer. This is a very lucrative opportunity at the moment, guys, and I don't think it's going to be lucrative for as long as it is now. So if you're interested, like I said, click the link in my description, join the AI for Entrepreneurs community, and chat to me in there because I'm one of the admins in the group. Drop me a message and we can have a chat, or go onto our website aiintegritygroup.com and fill in one of our risk audits. Maybe could be for your business, or email us in regards to maybe getting involved and becoming a consultant and learning how to get IAPP qualified so that you can actually do assessments and do governance and compliance audits for customers. You really need to jump on this now, guys. If you like this video, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll be trying to produce as much content as I can when I have time. So at the moment, I'm scheduled to do one video a week, but hopefully I can do more than that. Stay tuned and make sure you like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications to catch the next video because it's going to be so valuable.